DE Santorini is a competitive map in the Steam Workshop, created by FMPONE, who has worked on Kesh and Season. Hello, and welcome to a video where I'll be going through DE Santorini, a competitive map available on the Steam Workshop for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Right? The map is not done. As you can see, there's some big orange textures around here that aren't finished. However, the map already looks really cool. Based off of the city of Santorini in Greece, you can definitely see that architecture captured really well. Right? The map has been made by FMPONE. He's worked on Kesh and Season, so he's definitely one of the biggest names in the mapping community, So DE Santorini definitely has a lot of hype to live up to. Right? And I think it can do that. It already looks quite cool, and I do really like the layout. FMPONE has put a lot of thought into that, and I hope I can show you guys around. Right, so we start off in what I was assuming to be CT spawn, because, I don't know, it just has this little dip in the wall, I guess, here, which I would assume. It looks like a spawn area to me. And from CT spawn, we can immediately access the B bomb site very quickly. Right, you do have to go through a few paths over here, so it's not instantly fast. You don't practically spawn on the site, but you get here pretty quickly. There's another entrance over here to the B-bomb site, which you can enter again to CT spawn. You can either go here and try to stop terrorists as they come in, or go over here, be a little bit sneakier, and potentially catch someone out who's trying to plant behind this cover right here. We head over to the mid sniper window before heading over back to the B-bomb site. You can see that a CT player could peek from here, shoot with an op. It's very similar to Mirage. Sorry about that. Very similar to Mirage, where the T's can also contest from that side, and the distance between here and CT spawn and that side and T spawn is pretty similar. It's really dependent on on what spot out of this possible spawns that player spawns at, but aside from that, it's definitely going to be a great place for op battles. Moving on to mid, we can see a connector to the A site, but the CTs can't easily get here, just because they'd have to jump out of the window, walk through potential death, and get through. However, they can take this box, if I can learn to jump. Man. Sorry, walking through this other connector to A site. So A site already has quite a few entrances, two from mid. Although that first one, if you do go through the squeaky door, does only lead to this window, which is a potential choke point, since CTs that are watching this, if you do try to climb through, not only can they shoot you while you're jumping, which is essentially when you're useless, it's a very small window, so you don't have a lot of room and you can only go one at a time. Meanwhile, over here we have another entrance to A site. I like that there's two arches, so that a single smoke can only cover one side. That's pretty important, since CTs will have to really decide how they use their smokes, because if they use two to smoke off here, they'll probably have nothing to smoke off this big underpass. Right, and if we actually hop on over to that underpass, as I jump in, you can see that this is a nice underground tunnel, where the T's can take A. Right, they can go through that side, through that ramp, as I've already shown, or they can go through the side, where they've got the big entrance. If we actually head back on over the A site, you can see there's a nice log. I assume this could be replaced with another texture in the future, kind of thing here, where terrorists could potentially plant behind here, so if a CT player is maybe spotting from this room over here, or from over here, they won't be taken out, and they'll really safely plant. We actually do head on over this room real quick. It's pretty empty, but I would assume this could be one of the main places where counter-terrorists play. If an opera wants to hold this angle, potentially lock it down. This is a little bit harder to spot, and there's not that much cover over here compared to over here where you can easily fall back, but I could see some players trying to play it. Meanwhile, there's another tiny little crevice over here. This could be good for, similar to Inferno's emo spot. Maybe if I want to hide, wait for a plant, or if it's already planted, I want to hide, wait for a defuse. could lead to some really nice clutch situations. If we actually walk on over, or let's just fly on over, through the A tunnel, you get to see some of the nice small textures around here. It gives you that rustic European feel, except with more of a Greek feel, right? Because it's very white looking, not so much wood or stone even. But that's not the main focus here. If you notice, there's no textures over there except for some sand, unfortunately. But I'm sure that there's going to be a nice background later on. Moving on, we have the T area again, which connects to the dumpster, where T's can easily spot through mid. Now, a CT that did an aggressive push could potentially get here, maybe get behind terrace that are trying to push through to A, or even spot people that are trying to push through to B. But for the most part, this area is controlled by the T's. Right, we walk back through over here, where the T's can actually contest mid with an op. It's pretty open, but I guess you could technically smoke this out. It's not as wide as Mirage. That big entrance. Sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call. Anyway, so you have this big entrance here, but there's also a little bit of a smaller entrance to the side. Could potentially catch out operas, because if an opera is zoomed in on this area, then their field of view shouldn't include anything over here, and you could potentially easily take them out. So this map definitely has a lot of room for some nice terrace play. And in fact, this area really isn't easy to control as a CT, because I believe the T should be able to get here faster. Huh, never mind. CTs can get up here faster, but controlling so far up past the B bomb site on a very open map doesn't seem like a great idea. Aside from that, the T that does manage to get up here could again leave room to pick off an op again, so playing op in that sniper window position really does seem quite dangerous. I'm still not sure why this block is super useful, whether or not it will be, because all it really does is prevent you from going straight through to here if you're spotted. Right, it's a small balcony. It's a bit of a hard entrance for the terrorists because they'll have to jump down and they can be shot in the air. While they are in the air, they're pretty much useless. Again, there's some more cover over here on the B-bomb site, protecting terrorists if they're planting from anyone over on that side. It does expose them to this side, and there's conveniently placed crate over here in case a CT wants to peek. And if a CT doesn't want to peek, this corner could lead to some really sneaky play as well. If they just hide around it, staring into the wall, and then peek out. It leaves room for a lot of cool play. Moving on, this area connects back to the sniper window if you walk through there. But if you do walk over here, you can potentially spot a player if they're planning over here. Or a T can play post-plant over here, and it won't be super easy to hunt you, since they'll have to walk through this area if they want to come up to you, or they'll have to duel you from here, where you probably already have the advantage. Moving on, you can walk back on over to CT spawn, and I'm pretty sure I've covered the entire map except for T-spawn. Right, we walk on back over to the mid area. You can see that this is actually the ramp towards B that the terrorists can take. I'll just quickly go through. There's a big wall in the middle, so that if a CT wants to play maybe over here or something, and they spot, they can't see anyone that's walking through here, and they can get overwhelmed. Or there's someone maybe boosted over here or something crazy like that, they still can't get anyone that's behind this wall, which I think is pretty cool. We walk on over, back up to the B-bomb site. We can actually look at the entrances right now. So this first one, these have to come up some stairs. This could be smoked off, although they can spot through the corners. And I don't think it's possible to smoke without at least exposing one of the corners. But if this does get smoked off, they'll have to walk up here. And again, the trade-off is that if CTs choose to smoke off both, then the smokes won't last as long. Because on something like B-Site Inferno, where it's only one entrance, you can smoke, molly, delaying for a very long time. Whereas here, since there's two entrances, if you smoke off both, the amount of time you can delay from the terrace is cut in half, which is pretty big, leaving a lot more room so the CTs will have to stall in a different fashion. Right? We actually fly on back over here. If you come out of the ramp, you can access T-spawn. Now, this area is pretty much not done, as you can see by some test textures. But this is where the T-spawn. You can definitely spot some nice clouds up there. I'm not seeing anything in the shape of these clouds, though. Maybe this is, no. I don't have anything. Maybe I just don't have enough of an imagination. Well, guys, I think that should be it. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe. If you didn't, maybe provide some feedback. Otherwise, I'll thank you for watching. See you next time.